The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning here at 5 a.m. Good to have you with us on this Monday. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside a disappointed Alex Fisher, if you couldn't tell from our cold opens there. Yeah, it was a rough weekend for all Dodger fans.
17 News is your local election headquarters, and it is the final push to Election Day. There are just 22 days until the midterms, and candidates are in a full sprint to try and garner as much support as possible. And one of the most hotly contested congressional races in the nation has a big name coming in. This morning, former Vice President Mike Pence will be in the Central Valley to campaign for Republican David Valadao. Pence will be in Fresno later for a campaign event. He is expected to push Valadao's work on agriculture while in Congress, especially during the Trump administration. This big event comes on the heels of what could be a close race for the 22nd congressional seat. While Valadao is considered the incumbent, redistricting made the new district more Democratic. You've most likely seen the mudslinging political ads for this race running back-to-back on nearly every television station. Democratic Rudy Salas beat Valadao in the primary by nearly 20 points.
And that congressional race is just one of the many across the country that will be closely watched. That's because control of Congress is at stake. NBC's Bree Jackson is in Washington.
Early voting begins in Georgia today. It's a crucial race in the battle to control Congress. Senator Raphael Warnock is facing off against former NFL star Herschel Walker.
I've never pretended to be a police officer, and I've never threatened a shootout with the police.
During an exclusive interview with NBC's Kristen Welker, Walker is defending his actions after flashing a badge during a recent debate.
Does that have arresting authority, or it's an honorary badge?
It is an honorary badge, but they can call me whenever they want me, and I have the authority to do things for them, to work with them on things.
Walker also denies allegations that he paid for an ex-girlfriend to have an abortion in 2009. Nationwide, a woman's right to choose is a key issue this midterms after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade.
The decision about abortion should be between a patient and their doctor.
In Arizona, election integrity is also on the ballot. The Republican gubernatorial candidate has echoed former President Trump's false claims of election fraud.
If you lose, will you accept that?
I'm going to win the election, and I will accept that result.
Other key matchups include U.S. Senate races in Indiana, Pennsylvania, and Colorado.
This inflation's been caused by the $1.9 trillion reckless spending bill.
President Biden is touting infrastructure investments, job gains, and passing the Inflation Reduction Act.
Well, we've made a lot of progress, but folks are still struggling. We can't kid ourselves about that.
The economy remains the top issue for many voters this November. In Washington, Bree Jackson for NBC News.
Back here at home, immigrant rights and labor advocates, as well as previously detained immigrants, rallied outside of the Golden State Annex in McFarland and then the Mesa Verde ICE Processing Center in support of detained immigrants who've been on labor strike for almost 6 months.
When our communities are under attack, what do?
Stand up, fight back! Detained labor strikers connected to the action over the phone, protesting alleged mistreatment, poor living conditions, and unjust labor practices. Last month, 9 labor strikers filed a civil rights and civil liberties complaint with the Department of Homeland Security and the Office of the Immigration Detention Ombudsman, urging the departments to investigate retaliation and other abuses committed by ICE and the GEO Group. The group wanted to bring attention to that complaint with testimonies from current and former detained individuals, calls to action for the community, and art performances.
So detained strikers are on strike because they're being paid $1 a day, which is less than 1% of minimum wage in California. And now these people also have to buy their commissary products, which include hygiene, and also have to buy the food because the food here is so bad. And so we want to make sure that they get the money that they really deserve for all the work that they're doing in here cleaning those detention facilities, and also the fact that they're being detained by a multi-billion-dollar corporation who is not only detaining them but
17 News reached out to the GEO Group, who said they have no comment in response to the demonstration.
Hello, this is Tim Callahan with Clinica Sierra Vista, and we're excited to unveil the Community Health Center of the Future, our comprehensive care center. It's located right across the street from Memorial Hospital. We have every service under one roof, from family medicine, OBGYN care, dental services for adults and children, behavioral health, and much more. So find your way to better care at Clinica Sierra Vista this year at our comprehensive care center. Visit our website, clinicasierravista.org, for the latest on this project. We'll see you soon.
2 people are dead after a crash south of Lamont last night. CHP reports a vehicle crashed into an orchard on South Vineland Road, just south of DeGiorgio Road, around 10 p.m. Officers on scene confirmed 2 people died. No word on any other injuries or what led up to this crash.
Breaking news this morning, and as you were sleeping, there were several loud explosions heard at the center of the Ukrainian capital. Here's a look at new video coming into our newsroom this morning. At least 3 explosions were heard in Kiev after air raid sirens went off. And you can see smoke that could be rising in the early morning light. Residents in the area have been told to stay in shelters. The explosions came from the same central Kiev district where a week ago a missile struck a children's playground and intersection near the Kiev National University's main buildings.
Other news around the world, China's leader issues a stern warning to the world not to meddle in their internal affairs. The speech came as President Xi Jinping was poised to take on a historic 3rd term. In a speech lasting 104 minutes, Xi mentioned security or safety dozens of times and pledged a stronger Chinese military, warning of tough times ahead. The biggest applause when he declared that Taiwan will be part of mainland China, even if it means taking the self-governed island by force should foreign nations interfere.
This morning we are learning more about how police stopped an alleged serial killer before he could strike again. After 6 murders, residents in Stockton were on high alert, and it was that community that helped police locate their suspect. Mara Brett has more.
Neighbors breathing a sigh of relief after hearing the suspected Stockton serial killer has been arrested.
Does it make you feel a little more at ease at home?
I'm at ease, yeah, I'm at ease. Yes, I am. Because I wasn't going out by myself.
43-year-old Wesley Brownlee is booked on suspicion of at least 1 murder and assorted weapons offenses in the San Joaquin County Jail, held without bail. When taken into custody, police said he was wearing dark clothing, a mask around his neck, and was carrying a gun.
Law enforcement says the suspect's pattern of preying started in his car before he stalked his victims on foot. Police followed this exact path. They arrested him right here at 2 a.m. on Saturday. They said he was on a mission to kill, just blocks from where some of the attacks took place.
He was out hunting. We are sure we stopped another killing.
According to public records, Brownlee has a criminal history across California and Arizona, connected to past drug and traffic violations and a DUI. Most of the victims were Latino men, several of them homeless. But officials say there's no evidence the killings were race-based or targeted.
I was here at work and got a call from my nephew. He told me that Paul had been shot multiple times and that he died in the hospital.
Greta Bogro is the mother of Paul Alexander Yaw, who was killed in July.
Does this bring any closure for you?
Yes and no. I'm just grateful that they were able to save it from happening to another person and another family, having to go through what we've gone through. It's just been horrific.
Police today examining ballistic evidence from this 9mm handgun found in the suspect's car.
You don't come to our house and bring this kind of reign of terror.
The district attorney promising to bring justice for victims' families who are aching for accountability.
Maura Barrett reporting. 5:36 is your time now this morning. If you're heading to the pump, you'll probably still cringe, but maybe not as much as the last time you filled up. Gas prices are back on the decline here in Kern County after reaching record levels just a few weeks ago. Right now, the average for a gallon of gas in Kern is $6.17, according to AAA. That's 17 cents cheaper than last week, but the price is 75 cents a gallon higher than last month. A year ago, we were paying about $2 less per gallon.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, that puts things in perspective.
Yeah, it certainly does.
$2 a gallon less than it was a year ago.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.